There is an unwritten rule in global business. Some companies are too important to fail, and some people become too important to prosecute. This is the story of Gautam Adani, a billionaire whose empire stretched across ports, airports, power plants, renewable energy projects, media companies, and critical infrastructure serving more than 1 billion people. By 2023, Gautam Adani had become one of the richest people on Earth. His rise was so fast, so vertical, that many investors found themselves asking the same thing. How did this happen?
How did this happen?
For years, the question hung in the air. Analysts pointed to government relationships. Critics pointed to the debt levels. Investors pointed to the returns and kept buying. And the empire kept growing. Then everything changed. In January 2023, a small American firm called Hindenburg Research published a report that sent shockwaves through global markets. The report accused the Adani Group of using offshore entities to secretly inflate share prices, engineering a corporate structure designed to deceive investors, and operating a fraud that had been hiding in plain sight for years. Adani denied the allegations. The group called the report an attack on India itself. The government stayed quiet, but investors panicked. Within days, more than $100 billion in market value had been erased. One of the largest wealth destructions in modern corporate history had begun. The crisis triggered investigations, parliamentary debates, political controversy, and a wave of global scrutiny that the empire had never faced before. And then came something even bigger. In late 2024, U.S. authorities announced criminal charges involving alleged bribery connected to energy contracts worth billions of dollars. Prosecutors claimed that payments had been made to corrupt state officials to secure solar energy deals, and that American investors had been deliberately misled about the source of the group's profits. Adani denied all wrongdoing, but the allegations dominated headlines across every continent. For many observers, it looked like the beginning of a historic legal battle. It wasn't. Months later, the political landscape changed. A new administration, new priorities, and suddenly, questions began emerging about the future of the case. At the same time, major investment announcements connecting the Adani Group to the United States began attracting significant attention. $10 billion, promised, announced, publicized. Debate intensified. Critics questioned whether powerful economic interests were influencing outcomes. Supporters argued the allegations were unproven and politically motivated. And then, the criminal charges were gone. The SEC settled for $18 million. No admission of guilt. For a man worth $100 billion, a rounding error. Meanwhile, the empire remained standing. The ports kept operating. The airports stayed open. The power projects continued expanding. The infrastructure that millions depended on never stopped moving. And that may be the most important part of this story. When a company becomes so deeply embedded in a nation's economy, so connected to daily life, to jobs, to electricity, to movement, what happens when serious allegations appear? Can justice operate normally? Or do the rules change when the stakes become large enough? The Adani story is not just about one billionaire. It is about power, influence, money, and the uncomfortable question that follows every major corporate scandal. Are some people simply too important to fail, or too important to prosecute? Subscribe to Scandalous Wealth for weekly investigations into billionaires, corporate fraud, financial scandals, and the hidden stories behind elite wealth. Links and sources are in the description. See you at the next one.